Okay, hi everybody. We're going to continue. Again, a dog there in the background. So you can
I'm putting mute on. I'm putting mute right now.
Okay, but if you have a question, please join us. Don't mute your questions or your deep insights. We're going to finish business acumen today. This is running your life as a business, and I think people can get very laissez-faire about their lives. They have a business. They know how to make money. And other things can go to the wayside. And I want to say that this week I met a very big person in Hollywood, a person who ran a studio for over a decade, a lot of gigantic hits this person helped create. And this person's life for the next 6 months is complete. This person's retired. And this person runs a charity, a big charity, and they're booked for the next 6 months. I mean, this person runs their life as the business. Just because they step down from the studio doesn't mean they step down from the way they carry themselves. They still have they still have office, secretaries, and very chief of staff. And very powerful. And that was a big lesson to me, that you keep, that all aspects of your life are part of are as important to you as even your business, and will actually probably help your business and help you in your life. One other idea is that I had this person over. I just want to say, the guy was a billionaire. Everybody knows who he is. He's in the papers. Had him over for Shabbos, and he told me, he didn't use these words, but I'll say it, paraphrase it. He has a Shabbos 2 days a week. 2 days a week, you can't get hold of this person. He has a secretary staff of 24/7, and he says, I need 2 days. It's my time. I have to run my life. I can't have all these interruptions of people coming after me. If it's important, they'll get hold of me. Otherwise, you can't get hold of me. And I was very impressed by that, that the person should have such awareness. And probably, I guess if you have $1 billion, life can be pretty crazy, and you probably need 2 days a week to step out and make sure your life is going the way you want it to go. But can you imagine all the incoming that person gets because of that wealth? So I just want to say that what we're talking about today is not unusual, and very successful people use these concepts that we're discussing. Any comment on that before we continue?
Simply, what you're saying is that instead of allowing circumstances to control you, you control your own life. You control the circumstances.
In every aspect of your life, yeah. You don't say, hey, it's weekend, I'm just kicking off, and we'll see. No, it's my weekend. Let me see what I'm doing for my week. I'm going to use my time on my weekend, Oh, man, that's too structured for me. Okay, so I have 3 hours of unstructured sandbox time. But have it on your schedule.
I just want to mention the other side of that is responsibility. And you have responsibilities that it's hard to turn off and just focus and say, I'm out. I'm not reachable for a little bit.
Right. So that person they said they had a 24/7 secretary. You could do it another way in which you monitor all your emails and phone calls, but doesn't mean that, hey, for 24 hours I don't respond to my phone calls. Even no matter what I'm getting, I can't. And you know what? Life goes on. We can discuss that further. Yes, people are in surgery and other things. Okay, but for the most part, if you want, and this person said to me, a very good point, Steve. He said to me, it's amazing.
Aryeh, you seem your voice seems to be diminishing.
Oh, it's all right. My headset moved. He said, it's amazing. People can actually live without me for 24 hours. That's what the person said. He goes, you can get back to an issue in 24 hours. It's not going to be the worst thing. So it's something to look at. We have an immediacy of our lives right now. I answer my texts, my emails, and phone calls, but maybe there's a lot of thought in how we run our lives and time management that people respond when they respond. Some people read their emails once a day, or 3 times a day at set times, or whatever. We don't have to. Everybody can have their own. I'm just bringing up how different people run their lives as businesses. What I'd like to get into is looking at the different aspects of our lives and weighing them for their importance. And that's what we hit, what's called the 5 levels of pleasure. I think you guys were exposed to it at some point. If not, I'm going to just do a quick review of it. And in the Torah, you have to pull out the sources. We're not going to go through that right now. There's 5 levels of pleasure, like 5 levels of traveling on a train. And the 5th class pleasure, the lowest pleasure, and this is how you weigh things. If I said I'm going to give you $1 billion, you say, that's great. $1 billion? What can I do with $1 billion? I could buy a sports team or be part of a sports team, or I'm going to give you $1 billion reals. A real? What's a real? A real is an Iranian. Is it right? Iranian money? Iranian money? It's worthless. No, $1 billion reals will get you $20 million. Or you got to know what currency you're dealing with in life. So let's very quickly. There's the pleasure of material, which is a lot of us chase after, yours included, and that's like hot dogs and and Rolls Royces. And we have the best hot dogs on Pico, Jeff's Hot Dogs. You take that first bite of that cilantro dog, or Polish or Russian. It's great. But you can eat ice cream and not even be aware, like you just gulp it down. That's called lust. So we have to be careful. Material could be great. We use it on Shabbos. Good food, no problem. Love it. But got to be aware of it. It's only material. The second thing is beauty. Europe. The gorgeous buildings, the art, and that's what people like. Art, beauty, music. That's good, but we only say it's only 4th class pleasure. It's aesthetic beauty, gorgeous. But what about meaning? Meaning is a 3rd class pleasure. That's where Aish starts. That's where we get involved. But people can corrupt meaning and make it into blowing people up for their meaning, because my cause is so important. I'm going to kill everybody. Got to be careful. But meaning also is, I'm here. God made me. I'm important. I'm supposed to be here. What's my life about? We can see that's a little higher than looking at an artwork. But number 2 is power. The power of creativity, that's being like God. Now you can corrupt power. Yep. We can. We don't have.
Wait. You said the power of creativity. Is it
right.
power, or just power of creativity?
Power to be. It's power, but we say, what is power? Power we can convert and control people, or power you can use your power to create a better world. So you use power. How is it used? By expanding the world, which we call creativity. When you're creating something, you're on fire. And when you create something, be a letter you wrote to a friend or an ad campaign or whatever you did, you love that thing because that's you. We get off on creativity. That's what really drives you in the power thing. Take Trump, take him or leave him, whatever, but his power is he's creating America in his image. That's the power. Obama did the same. That's what people do in power. They want to recreate the world in their image. It's the power to create. And just how we use the power. The highest pleasure, we say, is transcending this world, to encounter God. And how we do that, come to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur with us at Aish. We'll show you how to transcend this world. But these are 5 classes of pleasure, and as a business person in the world, you have to decide, how am I using my time? Am I going after transcending? Am I creating? Is it meaning? Am I chasing after the Rolls Royce? Am I, how much time am I going to spend in the Louvre today? And you can see that, and that's a constant. But we're constantly weighing out because we came to this world for pleasure, and we should enjoy this world. But we have to, we have to prioritize it.
But you're also saying
yes,
that what you need to do is be aware of these at all times and be present and understand what it is that you are, in fact, doing. And you're making a choice. For the sake of discussion, in this small world, you're making a choice of one of 5 things, or maybe some combination of them, in terms of those things that please you.
Yes, and you led into the next
Correct?
idea. Yes, and you led into the next idea, which is decision making. If you run your life as a business, you have to do just that. Like you said, you have to decide. And one of the most important thing, or the thing that separates us out from the animals, is that they react, we decide. That's why animals are predictable, whereas human beings are not, because human beings have to decide, or passively don't decide, but you're supposed to decide, you're supposed to think, and you're a decision maker. That is what you're doing. That is your free will. That is your image of God. And people that run their lives as a business person is making decisions all day long about his business. But sometimes in life, we put it on, we call it cruise control. I'll just let it happen. You can't just let it happen in a business. It's going to go off the tracks. But in life, we have to embrace we're decision makers, and I got to make decisions. And I got to look ahead. I got to decide, life insurance, whole term. I got to decide my vacation, what I'm going to do. The hotels are cheaper now. I'm going to book them, organize my family. Some people are like, let it happen. That's not really how necessarily a Jew does things, though. That's not how at least Rav Noach taught me to go about things. And he says you have to. He liked to make decisions on should I, shouldn't I? Those kind of questions. On the Ben Franklin, draw the line down the paper, put the pros and the cons, weigh them out, add them up, and at least you see where am I going with this. But we got to embrace decision making and decide if something's a return on the money today. I'll give you $10,000 tomorrow, and then in 6 months you'll give me 20, or do I take that 20 and I give it back to you, and you say, yeah, I can give you $2,000 a month for the rest of your life.
Aryeh, I'm going to interrupt you because we have 3 of us on the phone. I'm retired, but I still make decisions every day. But both Steve and Justin are people who advise other people. And I have a question for both of them. Do you take your own advice, guys?
Oh, it's such a good question, Ralph.
I do. I think about it constantly. I think about what I tell my clients to do, and I think it inspires me to actually push ahead and make these tough decisions like I would tell my clients to do. I say, where it'd be, maybe I wouldn't do it because I'd be a hypocrite. So I say, I got to do this because I'm telling my clients to do this, so I have to do it too.
Justin? Or maybe Justin fell off. Or is on
Hey
me.
there, Justin?
Or he's too far away from the mute button. Ralph, what do you think? Do you take your own advice?
I think during my lifetime, I have failed at times to take my own advice because it's also a matter of not having the advice. It's also a matter of discipline. And I think like most human beings, maybe not people who are Aish rabbis, but every once in a while you fall off the wagon.
We all fall off that wagon. And
but for the most part, yes, I did. To Steve's point, but the reality is that sometimes you fall off the wagon. sometimes there's something that occurs, and I don't know if this happens to Steve. He may be more disciplined, more control. Every once in a while, you have a thought that you believe is right, and then you get a feeling. You go, you know what? I know that I should go to the left, but I got this feeling I ought to go to the right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I guess my point is simply that we should be taking the advice we give to clients because that's what we really think, not what we feel.
Right, very good. I mean, that is a principle that Rev Noach taught us, is that when you're giving a person advice, it is so objective because they're not you. And that if we can train ourselves to give ourselves that advice, so sometimes that's a whole other exercise, but Ralph, you hit it on the head. And I want to end with we postpone things and we put things off and we hear great ideas and say, no, I'm going to get around to that. And we miss the golden opportunity and we miss that window. In a business, you grab it. You grab it because you can be first in. You can dominate the market for a while. You miss the opportunity, you come in later, not so good. So we have to see if some piece of wisdom comes across our life that is gold, we got to grab it and we got to double down on it, and we got to put it on all three shifts, morning, noon, and night, and use that idea because that idea could be, look back on your life. Sometimes your life was propelled by an insight that you jumped on and you wrote it. So we have to be alert and grab things as they come our way. So, okay, time's up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys next week. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Thank you. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Shabbos. Bye.